Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. Everyone loves an old v new, and we have the Mizuno JPX 925 hot metal, the brand new 925 hot metal against the JPX 923 hot metal, the old v new. And so we have some changes. There are little bits and pieces here and there. The big thing is going to be the looks. We have changes in the technology. There is forgiveness differences potential. We'll go into that one in a sec, but effectively what we're going to be doing, the order of business is looks first, see what the differences are. We're going to hit them into the simulator and see if there's any feel differences between these two. Then we're going to have a look at the performance. Even though these are within half a degree of loft, they're basically exactly the same golf club. What one works better than the other one? Is there a peak height difference? Is there a launch difference? Ball speed difference? Is there a carry difference? And is there a control into a green difference between these? And then we're going to be doing the full forgiveness test. We're going to whack it all over the face and see which one of these are more forgiving than the other. Right, so we're at a golf course. Let's go change the data set and let's go do the old first. Let's go do JPX 923 hot metal. 923 in my hand and also 925 to compare the differences in dimensions. If you look at the sole size on this, because of the chrome barring on the 923 hot metal, actually the sole thickness, even though it's the same size, doesn't actually look as big as the newer 925. When you look at the top lines, again, because of that chrome barring around the back, especially in playing position, if you look down by the golf ball, you can definitely distinctly see that the 925 looks bigger. The 923 with that chrome barring makes things look smaller. Personally, I prefer the 923 hot metal styling. I prefer the cleaner looking lines of the 923, but then that's for people's preference. Subjectivity is one thing, objectivity is another. We are at a hole, which I can't remember, but I'll pop it up on the screen for you to see. It's 185 yards, but these are 28 degree 7 irons. This one's 28.5, and the 925 is 28 degrees, so half a degree. That is effectively exactly the same golf club. Right, let's go give this one a hit. Down by the golf ball, got a little bit of offset there, but for a game improvement iron, it's by no means big. That's down the left side. This green is not the easiest thing to hit with the pond and everything to try and miss, but that's a really good shot to start. Club path is 0, face to path is 0.7 close. That's why he went baby left, that's it. We have a 2mm toe, 0mm low, 39 yards in the air. Wow, not bad, and 49 degrees descent angle. So that's coming into a green at 187 yards, and as you saw, it is stopping. 187 yards is not that much different to my 5 iron, but this is designed for the person who needs a little bit more extra help in the old distance route, but then also does not want to get rid of their peak heights, etc. I've hit both of these enough now to know there's no feel differences between them. The 923 was already one of, if not the softest feeling game improvement iron on the market. So Mizuno have said they've changed the 925 to make it a little bit nicer, but my ears can't tell any different. They feel exactly the same. Really good shot. Let's see if we can put another decent swing on it and get another decent result into this hard to hit green. Not quite as good. Not quite as good, but please stop. Oh, that's a really good shot. Oh, pitched in the gimme circle nearly. There you go, you can see path is not quite so good. 1.2 across, 1.8 open, little baby fade dynamics. Strike still good though, 2mm low, 2mm hill, so very good, and 40. Yes, that's 40 yards in the air, 50 degrees cent angle, 182. So I lost a little bit on there from the dynamics, from the swing. Again, that's normal. If you're going to cut the golf ball, generally speaking, you will take a little bit distance off. And that's why the slicers have so much problems with distance, because obviously they might be putting a lot in, but when you're cutting across the golf ball, you can see the distance just comes off. But feel, yeah, they feel really nice. These always did and have done. And so if you've got a set of these, would you trade up? Would you upgrade to a 925 for the feel difference? No, because there is none. Performance difference though, that'll be an interesting one. Whacked a load of times. Have another go. Again, that's safe down the left-hand side though. But I mean, on this green, if you're hitting the target, that's win, win, win all day long. Path is slightly across again, faces baby, half a degree open, Well, that's it. But strike's pretty good. 2 mil hill, 4 mil low, 38 yards in the air, 49 degrees descent angle. So you can see that these golf clubs, they are going to hit target if they're coming in from a decent height. If you go down too slow for the 4 reviews, I went and done 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. And yes, if you're going to go slow swing speed, that's why they make the high launch, because you're trying to get the golf ball up in the air, etc. But for anyone in the 80 or so miles an hour swing speed, this is going to be an absolute godsend for them to get some control into a green. Right, so let's go flick over to 925. Let's change the data set. Let's go flick over to 925. Let's go see if there's any difference in feel. Probably not. Into a green, into a hard to hit green, and then we're looking forward to doing the performance and the all important forgiveness test where we whack it all over the face and see which one of the two works best. 925 hot metal in my hands, and already, yes, looks wise, there's a distinct difference. It is a lot more satin. You have got that chrome barring around the side, on the toe side of things. It is a distinct look. The size of it is exactly the same, 923 and 925, no real difference whatsoever. The big difference is going to be in performance, potentially, and also forgiveness. Let's go give this one a hit and see if I can tell any difference in the sound between these two. Can't complain with that in the slightest. Very good delivery, and that's carrying out there. Stay on the green. Oh, this green's hard. Club path, 0.1 from the inside, that is it. And then face the path is 0.0, that's why it's a fairly straight shot. 5 mil toe, 2 mil low, so slightly toey, but not bad whatsoever. 41 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle. Feel-wise, I can't tell the difference between the two. I can't. Now, your ears might be much better than mine. Feel is different for different people. Some people like the firecracky feeling, and so they would always gravitate to some golf clubs that are a little bit more kind of punchy off the face, while others like the softer feel. In the case, these two, they're both soft anyway. For game improvement irons, so they obviously, you go to a muscle back, you're not going to win against a muscle back forging, but pretty darn decent for a game improvement iron. Well, that's a little bit of a cutty delivery. Very similar to the one we did with the, God, hear me. I pitched away about a foot away from the hole. So there we go, similar delivery what we did with the hot metal. 1.5 across, 1.1 open, so little baby fade dynamics. Not as efficient, generally speaking. 1 mil toe, 5 mil low, so the strike's not bad, really. 39 yards in the end, 49 degrees descent angle, 184. Now, that wasn't a plumb on hit. 184 yards is about 5 yards or so away from what my 5-iron does. But this is 28 degrees, and my 5-iron's 27, so full out normal one of these will actually go to 188, 189 yards, so this is basically my 5-iron. But the interesting thing is I cannot get my 5-iron stopping into a green at 50 degrees descent angle, where this is happening normally with these golf clubs. This is the benefit you're going to get with going to something with the center of gravity as far back and low. Now you're going to get the same thing on a 923. Mizuno have said they haven't gained more distance. They're not looking for this golf club going 15 yards further than the other one. They're not saying that this one goes 15 yards higher. They're just saying they're trying to rework the head a little bit to try and make it more forgiving. And the tech inside here is distinctly different to that of the 923 hot metal. And again, if you want the full tech side of things, there's my full reviews. Right, last one. Let's see if I can hit this one a fraction higher to show you how high you can get with one of these golf clubs. Oh, I pulled it. That's my fault, not the golf clubs. But look at that for the height. My word, that is going up. Oh, there we go, 1.4 across, face 0.9 closed. That's me swinging left with the face slightly closed, which means it's going left. Well, it's not a bad shot whatsoever. 5 mil toe, 1 mil lows, pretty decent strike, but look at that. 46.5 yards in the air and 52 degrees descent angle at 193. So 193 is now past my 5-iron. I cannot do that with my 5-iron, and this is what benefit these kind of golf clubs give. That center of gravity low and far back is going to be able to get flight up there and stopping on a green, as you see, 190 yards away. Right, let's go hit this load of times. Let's go put the range on, the boring range. Let's go see if there's an actual performance difference between the two when you match speeds, lofts and stuff like that. And then we'll go do the forgiveness testing. Which of these two is more forgiving than the other? Remember, when it comes to the 925, you have got more tech or tech changes in here that potentially Mizuno are saying make it more forgiving than that of the 923. Be interesting to see if there's any performance difference as well. So let's get busy hitting some shots and see which one wins out of the two. All the shots now hit with the JPX 923 versus the 925 hot metal. I have done this at my normal swing speed. The reason why I've done it at my normal swing speed rather than going into 70, 80, 90 miles an hour is purely on the basis when you're comparing one against the other, if there is any differences between one or the other, it's going to show it up at a faster swing speed. Let's go have a look at the information that we've collected. We've got the ball data on the top and then we've got the club head data at the bottom. We'll look at the club head data in a sec. With the red is the 923 and the blue is the 925. So you can see there we've got a 0.6 of a mile an hour gain in the 925 over the 923. 0.6 of a mile an hour is not even worth bothering talking about. Launch angles within 0.2 of a degree, so basically exactly the same. And I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Spin 5123 versus 5123, exactly the same. Again, that's just coincidental, but effectively they are spinning and performing basically exactly the same. Carry, there's 1 yard in it, but you do this test a few times and it will fluctuate around, so they are both exactly the same golf club. Peak height's within a yard and descent angle is basically exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. I'm not surprised because Mizuno aren't saying there's a big difference in or any difference in performance between these two. The focus from Mizuno absolutely is on forgiveness. If we go by the club head data, 90.2 to 90.2, again, no difference whatsoever. Efficiencies within 0.01 of each other. That is that 0.6 of a mile an hour difference. That's a rounding difference between the two, so I wouldn't get upset about that whatsoever. Attack angles within half a degree, club path is within 0.3 of a degree, face to path within 0.4 of a degree, and loft is within half a degree, but then that is a half a degree difference between the two, 28.5 degrees for 923 and 28 for the 925. If we have a look at the graphical side of things, the club and ball compare, again, that's the graphical representation of what we've just been talking about. Some people can see pictures better than they can see tabular data, so you can freeze frame that and see everything is basically like for like. Right, let's go to the forgiveness, the all-important forgiveness side, where we get to see if there is a benefit over the 925, over the 923 on the side of when you don't hit the middle. How well does the new golf club do compared to the old one when it comes to retention of ball speed? As soon as you get a reduction of ball speed, you're going to get a reduction of distance. So you need a golf club which is going to retain that ball speed across the face as best as possible so you can keep that carry number that you normally hit as close to that one as you can do when you don't hit the middle. So we've got one here for the 923 hot metal first, 2mm high, 0mm toe, so within 2mm perfectly in the middle. Face and path are fairly 1 degree closed, but that is basically it. 1.39 efficiency, doing well out the middle, 25.3 degrees of loft. If you then go to a 925 hot metal, 1mm low, 0mm toe, so within 1mm now of the middle, so basically exactly out of the screws. Path and face are very 0.0 and 25.1, so 0.2 degree of a difference in loft. That's it, 1.40. No difference at all between the 923 hot metal and the 925 hot metal out of the middle. Again, there's no surprise because Mizuno haven't made it to go any faster. They think it goes far enough. It now is focused much more on the consistency of forgiveness of the head on the 925. So let's capture ones from weird and wonderful spots. We've got a heel one here for the 923 hot metal, 14mm heel, 3mm low, so 17mm gross. Off of the middle, loft is 23.4, so it's 2 degrees or so less loft than the maxed out number, and a face and path very 0.0 generally speaking, so 1.35. Not bad whatsoever from nearly 3/4 of an inch off the middle, but it has got a few degrees less loft. If you now go over to a 925 hot metal, 4mm low, 17mm heel, so we're now 21mm gross, 4mm worse than the previous shot from the 923. Again, face and path, very 0.0 and 25.6 degrees of loft. So we have got a 2.5 or so degrees more loft on the 925 and 1.35. So what we're seeing is it's the same efficiency on the 925 as the 923, 1.35, but the 925 does it with a worse strike and more loft. So as soon as you add loft, you add deflection. More deflection, you take away efficiency. That's just the difference between a sandwich and a driver. And so you do the same efficiency with more loft and a worse strike. the 925 is better from heel strikes. If you then go low on the face, 923 hot metal first, 9mm low, 2mm toe, so not a massively low strike, but still fairly thin. You'll definitely feel that when you hit the golf ball. Path slightly from the inside, but face 0.0, perfect, and 24 degrees of loft. So again, slightly de-lofted than maxed out. 1.36. If you then go to a 925 hot metal, we've got 11mm low, 0mm heel, rather than 9mm low, 2mm toe. So 11 and 11 within reason, very, very similar. A face is fractionally closed, 1.4 degrees. So generally speaking, a fractionally closed face will gain a little bit over a plumb on square one, and then obviously weaker from an open face. But 26.1 degrees of loft rather than 24. So again, 2 degrees more loft on the 925 delivered. And we've got 1.36. So we've got exactly the same efficiency again. Loft is increased. We've got 2.1 degrees more loft, and the strike within reason is exactly the same. If you then go toe, so we've got one here for the 923 hot metal, 13mm toe, 3mm high, 24.8 degrees of loft, and the face and path fairly 0-0, at least the face is definitely 1.37. Doing really well. 1.37 is only 0.02 away from its absolute max, and that is 16mm gross off of the middle. We've got one here for the 925 hot metal, 13mm toe, 2mm low, so within 1mm difference, but the other way vertically. We have got a path and face very 0-0, and loft of 24.8, 24.8, 1.39. So we have within a 1mm exactly the same strike. We have got everything else exactly the same, loft to literally the 0.1 of a degree exactly the same, and yet efficiencies 1.39. Well, they're both basically 1.39 out of the middle, and so there is no loss within reason. There is no loss whatsoever from the 925 hot metal when you start moving out towards the toe. There is an interesting pattern on the 925 hot metal as opposed to the 923 hot metal. If you go extreme toe, probably even more than what we just saw there, the 923 actually works better than that of the 925. As soon as you start getting really very, very close to missing the scoring lines and hitting the ball from a part of the face you really shouldn't do, the 923 actually exceeds that of the 925. The reason why, the 923 had that power frame, it was it was built for toe hits. Absolutely. If you were a toe striker, the 923 was a godsend for a fitter. But then you hit out the heel and it's decent, it's good, but it's not as good as it could be. So the 925 now has moved with its technology, it's got that elliptical, we won't go into it, I'll probably put a picture up on the screen. They've changed it between the 923 to 925 to try and make the whole face a little bit more forgiving. And they have done. You can see by the data that we've just seen there, the heel is more forgiving, the low part of the face is more forgiving, and nominal toe shots are more forgiving. It's not until you go to extreme toe that you see the 923 start to slightly overtake than that of the 925. Now, okay, if you're going to be hitting toe shots 30mm gross off of the middle, then I wouldn't be looking at a golf club or any kind of equipment to try and mitigate that. I would absolutely spend some money on lessons, because that is not very efficient anyway. From the information there, the performance, is there any difference whatsoever? Absolutely not. The 923, 925 hot metal are exactly the same. Would you chop your 923 for a brand new set of 925s? Would I? Probably not, no, but Mizuno aren't looking for that. Any other manufacturer's no different. They're not looking for people with the old model to chop in straight away to upgrade the new. What they're looking at is for people that have got a 2, 3 or 4 model old set of golf clubs to upgrade to the new. Looks and feel guys, I can't tell a difference between the two. Mizuno say there's a slight acoustic difference between the graph and that lot. I can't tell no difference. And then looks. The looks is going to be an interesting one. What do you like or not? This is subjective, and so anything that I say is going to be my own opinion. Personally, I prefer the looks of the 923 only because of the fact that I've been used to it now for 2 years, and anything that looks different is always somewhat peculiar, and you have to get used to it. So I've got no doubt as time goes on, I'm already starting to now that I'm starting to get used to the new look. So hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, thumbs up, hit the like button. You too like it, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It is great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.